Assalamu alaikum students. How are you? Hope you are fine. Uh, we are going to discuss week 4 professional practice and the learning contents that we will discuss in this week. Just we will topic that we will be covered in this week. That's in you can see there. First thing that we will discuss is what the key characteristics that distinguish in a professional from other kind of workers, and is an IT worker considered as a professional. After this lecture, you will be able to discuss about you can easily understand the professionally uh, IT workers, and is it is a profession and how we can compare IT workers to the other kind of workers. Fine. And the second important topic that you will discuss here, what the factors that are going to be transforming the professional services industry, and how we can relate the importance of professionally IT professional people as a service industry, how they can uh, provide their best services. And the third point is what relationship must be uh, an IT worker manage, and what key ethical issues can arise in each. That's the basically relationship to the other people. It may be the clients or suppliers, vendors. That's a number of relationship that you can say IT workers have engaged. And the fourth important point that you will be covered in this week and in behalf of this lectures, it is related to the how do the code of ethics and professional organizations and certifications and the licensing that will be affect to the IT professional. That is the most important consider you will consider for the IT professional. What the importance of a licensing, and what the importance of a certifications, is it important or not? Fine. That's something that you are going to be discussed. And the last one is what's the mean of compliance, and how does it will be help to promote the right behaviors and discouraging undesirable ones. Right. It is some important topic that we will discuss in this week, and that is our important things, our learning objects. Fine. Now we move in the next slide. First thing is that as a professional is what the concept of professional is. It is a student. It is not the job you do. It is how you do the job. Basically, it is a one quotation that we are going to be discussed. As a professional is, it is not specified as a job. It is how you can do the job, how the working standards of the job, how the people are performing the job. Now we will discuss about the professional IT professional, how that engage. A profession, by definition, if we say a profession is just calling the that require the specialized knowledge, the person and the profession who is basically do a job. He has specialized knowledge, and the second thing is that often a long and intensive academic academic preparation. Mean to say, the people we call the as a profession, as a simple, if we talk about the profession, it is a just calling that requires specialized education, and sometime we can say long and intensive academic preparation. As a professionally in a like in United States code of federal regulation that define the professional employee. He is basically a someone who is engaged in a performance of a work. Okay. Professional employee is just a person who is engaged in performance of our work. So the professionally people that are basically people who require the advanced training and experience. The people how can become the professional. You can say that the people who require advanced training and experience continuously, and there must be the judgment in their work. They have the knowledge about their work and they can easily judge and do their work. And the third point is their work cannot can be standardized. Okay, cannot be standardized mean to say that their job is a vast knowledge and that should be a standardized, or they normally job specialization there. Sometime we can say that their work is a in a standardized work. And the third fourth one is that should be the professional that contribute to the society. They will be participate in the lifelong training, that they should be assess their other professional. They are basically contributing the society, and they are participate in the lifelong training and assess the professional, and further that the carries special rights and responsibility that according to their work. Simply the professional people is a basically need to be a good training. They have a good work experience, they have a judgment techniques, and their work is be standardized, and they consider as a contributing the society, and other they have basically have a link good relationship with the other professions. Now we move the next point that we are going to discuss. It is related to professional again. Are IT worker are professional mean to say, what you think about this, that are IT worker professionals or not? Many workers in the IT industry that should be considered to be a professional as a partially list include programmer, system analyst, software engineers, and database administrator, and local area network LAN administrators, and chief informational officer. That is a basically some job title that we are going to be discuss after the computer science uh, degree. You have maybe you face a different label. I mean to say, in you are become a good programmer, you maybe become the system analyst, and you software engineer. Maybe some people are call you, and you are doing a job, and that is the label is a software engineer, database administrator. That's a different basically a name, worker name. That is a different name of jobs and the professionally that consider. Now again the thing is that many business workers that have a different duties, they have a backgrounds, they have a training that qualify them to be a classify as a professionally. And we can say that's including the market analyst, financial consultant, IT specialist, that are mobile applicant developers, and software engineers, system analysts, like we already discussed. That's a different name that qualifying according to the training and their good qualification, their background duties, we call as a professional. Okay, as a legal perspective, we think that workers have a professional or not, we call as a professional. That's a simple thing, student. uh, Sometime according to the federal law of United States, federal government of United States, and many other organization, We will be consider it that is not meet to a legal definition of a professional, and you can say uh, we are not considered not every the condition is that not every IT role that required the knowledge of advanced type in the field of science and learning continuously that requiring a prolonged course of specialized intellectual instruction and study, and that basically in a United States court, not a formal and a legal perspective, IT worker will be recognized as a professional. Fine, because they have not a license by the state or a federal government. Look like you say that's the doctors. It is a basically a license, but in some now engineer, computer science engineer, we can say he if he get a license engineering and he is registered, then in any government federal government and any state providing a license, then we can say it is a professionally. Otherwise in a simple and every IT worker will be not considered as a by definition is not considered as a professionally, because the condition again that's not have a license by state or a federal government, not liable for the malpractices. Okay, uh, so the we finally realize it, IT workers is a professional or not. Fine. Now the next we will move. Now, class, we are going to be discuss about the professional relationship. First is thing is that an IT worker that involve relationship with the normally with the uh, different relationship with different you can say bodies in the organization. First, that include with the that IT workers become involved in a different relationship that include with the employers, that include with the clients and the suppliers and IT users, other professional societies and large as. Okay, that's each relation have some ethical, uh, some ethical code of conducts and an ethical IT workers that act as a honesty and appropriately the various relation that we will discuss one by one. Now we move on to next, that's the relationship with the employers. What the relation of IT people with the employer. Now we will move on to next. Yes, next slide that show the relationship between IT workers and employers. Employers, that's normally we are talking about the organizations, employers, and IT workers and employers have a you can consider it is a critical and multifaceted relationship, especially uh, that required ongoing effort by both party to keep it strong. Okay, both have a critical and multifaceted relationship. Sometimes employees and employer have a strong relationship, but demanding their requirement. But the thing is that as a IT worker and an employer, both should be agree on a fundamental aspect of a relationship, because the worker as a worker they need to be accept the employment offer, because employer are expected from something from their employees, and they have a different issues, maybe include the job title, general performance of expectations, and you can say specific work responsibility. They need to drug testing requirement, dress code, and location of employment where he will be do the work, working hours conditions, and company benefit. That are the different aspect where you can say relationship of employee and employer both have a basically doing their work, and that's a simply companies basically providing their policies and some procedures, some manual and a code of conduct how he will be uh, belong to the how to get the good, how the company will have a good relation, how employee will be do work in a long life. Okay, that's a relation between the IT workers and employers. So the some respect develop over time to time. Some respect we can say that will be the considered as a some respect develop over the time. That specific role of the IT workers and established based on the nature of work or a project. Fine. For example, like a programming language that be used, the type and amount of documentation to be produced, and extent of testing to be conducted. So, as a IT worker must be set an example, enforce policies regarding the ethical use of IT in software piracy, in trade secret, in whistleblowing. That is a IT worker that must be an example and enforce policy regarding to ethical use of IT. Fine. If we talk about the software piracy, that is a one of an important thing. That is basically act of illegally making copy of a software, and especially in many countries are not care about this, and especially Asian countries. Fine. And that's a simple act of illegally making copy of a software or enabling access to the software to which they are not entitled. You have no license, you have but you are basically make a copy and selling, that is a one of a bad thing. And the business software alliances is a trade group that representing the world largest software and hardware manufacturer. Mission is to stop the unauthorized copy of software. Every organization basically want they need to be get a reward of their effort, but the software piracy, many other firms are basically doing this and get a good money. That is illegal. So the business software alliances is a trade group that representing the large software and a hardware manufacturer that's mission just for the stop the unauthorized copy of the software. Thousands of cases prosecuted for each year. Number of cases, especially in China and Pakistan. Right. Trade secret. Trade secret is again another concept that we are normally using there, like the business information generally unknown to the public, and where the company take action to keep confidential. Trade secret, that is a one of a secret confidential data, that's a business information generally unknown to the public, because especially their financial records. Okay. And some company take action to the keep confidential. Some are, you can say that the employees that are there have every company, every organization are basically keep this kind of information. That's one of our confidential information, considered one of our confidential information. They require a cost or effort to develop